Hello, I'm Dr. Russell Don, President of Concordia University Chicago. Thank you for tuning in to today's Cougar Athletics broadcast. We take great pride in the strength of both our athletic and academic programs, which are rooted in our steadfast commitment to Jesus Christ. Dedicated to the liberal arts as a foundation of a high-quality college degree, we believe education should form individuals for service to their neighbors. This makes Concordia Chicago an exciting and fulfilling place to study, work, learn, and grow. Learn more today by visiting cuchicago.edu. Thank you, and go Cougars!
Nation, and welcome back to Geisman Gymnasium here in River Forest for tonight's matchup between the Concordia University Chicago Cougars and the visiting Rockford University Regents. It's the first game back on campus since students are back, and it's looking to be a big one. A very hot Concordia Chicago Cougars coming off some big games, going off against a very hot Rockford University Regents, and this has been a tale of two seasons for Concordia. Rough non-conference slate for the Cougars. Took a while to pick up that first win until they headed out to the West Coast. Since conference play has started, this team has been hot. They're 4-1 in NAC play so far, and they've been playing teams towards the bottom of the conference, but they're winning the games they're supposed to win, and that's something that they didn't really do last year, and it's a great sign to see from CUC. But one of the better signs to see is how their last game turned out.
Yeah, last game, Jonathan, against Wisconsin, 85-54. They were down 20 at one point. They outscored Wisconsin by 22 in the last 11 minutes of game time. This was a great win in their last game. The 1-1 in the conference.
Yeah, and those are those big momentum-building wins we've seen from the Cougars this season on the whole. Winning the games you're supposed to win, closing games out in the final minutes. That's something we've heard Coach Searles talk a lot about and what his focus is with the team this year. On Rockford's end of the ball, a bit of a similar trend to this season. Rough play through non-conference. Conference play hasn't been much kinder to the Regents. They're 2-3 in conference play, 4-7 overall, but they have been very hot as of late, including a 10-point win over Edgewood their last time out. And Eric, it's been a tale of two seasons, but this team, they play a very unique way as well.
Yeah, they do. They're a team that for most of the season, it was really live by the three, die by the three. If they weren't getting the shots to go in, then they were losing. But in the last game against Edgewood, they shot pretty poorly from three, but they were able to get it done in the paint and make it happen on the boards, and that allowed them to not have to rely on the three ball as much.
Absolutely. We'll see if they'll be able to keep that up tonight. Going into tonight's game, you look at these rosters, pretty balanced rosters from both of these teams. You got a lot of contributors. We'll talk about it more later, but Concordia Chicago, especially coming off of that game against Wisconsin Lutheran, bit of a bench mob going on for CUC. A lot of points coming off the bench. The biggest of those, Sebastian Hill, a 16-point career-high game last time out against the Warriors, and he's someone who could be looking to play another big impact tonight. He's someone that Coach Searles has been expecting to take a bigger and bigger role as his first year with the Cougars goes on, but he's probably not the biggest player who's had the biggest role in the Cougars' success. That's been their offensive leader this year, D. Williams.
Yeah, Aaron Lewis has been amazing this year. He's been their most consistent player in the game in conference. He led the team in scoring, with 20 points in the full series in their last game against Wisconsin. He had a big impact in that game, like he has all season.
Yeah, D. Williams, one of the most experienced players on this team, really stepping up into that leadership role. And you go over to the Rockford side, it's been a very unique year in terms of contribution.
It's been a bit interesting because their star player has been Trey Miller. He leads the team. He's averaging 13 points a game, but he's also missed a few games due to injury. And in their last game against Edgewood, he did not look very good. He played 26 minutes, but only had 2 points, and both of those were from free throws. From the field, he was 0 for 7. So if they want to hang with the Cougars today, they really need him to be able to start hitting shots again.
Yeah, and other from that, it's a very balanced contribution. They're led in scoring by Jaden Hill with 10.6 points a game, and there's a couple other players over 10 a game, but no one really lightened up the stat sheets. Last game, it was Luke Stuckey who lit up the stat sheets, leading the Regents with 16 points and shooting more than 50% from the field. That's someone that the Regents could be looking to out on the court today to play a big role. As we get ready to go for today's game between these two squads, Eric, Sam, what are you guys' keys to the game for Concordia Chicago?
You mentioned it earlier, the bench mob. The Cougars need to keep that going. In their game against WLC, they had 43 points off the bench. That was over half. If they can keep that going today and keep showcasing their depth, they can easily hang with Rockford.
Yeah, and Rockford, on the other hand, they shoot a lot of threes, so really closing out on the perimeter. They don't shoot it at a very well rate, but they shoot a lot, and you got to give them a rebound too, because they're most likely going to miss a spot, but you don't want to go to Rockford and not even the amount of threes they take.
Absolutely. The Cougars need to do is get hot early. They were able to dig themselves out of a big hole against Wisconsin Lutheran. You don't want to do that every game, and they'll try to avoid that doing that against the Regents. Quick look at the history between these two squads before we get going. Cougars, they won the last last two against Rockford, including a game already this year. The Cougars winning by a couple points. They're 23-13 all time, and we'll see if they can continue to strengthen that lead in the matchup in just a few minutes. Stick with us on the Cougar Sports Network. Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome back to Geisman Gymnasium. It's time for the Cougars and the Regents to tip off. It's Aaron Brown going up against Jackson Cooper at midcourt. Ball's up, and Brown is going to tip it over for the Cougars. Almost out of bounds. Tallis Lowry having to track it down, and the sophomore point guard will get things going for the Cougars. Dishes it off to Brown, driving to the rim, and Brown gets the Cougars on the board first.
Nice move by Brown. Once he got the ball, he just went straight down the paint with it and put it in. Got the Cougars on the board early.
Now it's Rockford taking it down. Adrian Agee bringing it down on the near side of the court, swinging it over to Cameron Hogan. Hogan working on Lowry, dushing in to Stuckey. Luke Stuckey to the paint. Now Stuckey from three, pump fake, cuts over, swings to Bell. Now Bell back to Stuckey. Shot clock under 10. Agee from mid-range, back to Stuckey. Long three, and it is no good. Rebounded by Bell, going back up for two.
That was a big play there by Bell. He was just in the perfect spot. He was able to shake off the Cougar defender and get the offensive rebound off the Stuckey miss.
Now Brown swinging to Tommy Zimmer. Zimmer double teamed, back to Brown. Three off the back of the rim, rebounded by Agee.
Good look there for the Cougars, but just couldn't get the shot to fall.
A quick start for these two teams. Rockford love to shoot the three ball. We see them playing around a lot of the perimeter. Hogan driving in, broken up, gets the loose ball, kicking to Bell, and he draws the foul. Williams, an uncontrolled fly into his man.
Yeah, Bell looked like he was going, so Williams jumped forward to make a defensive move, but then Bell ended up staying put, so Williams just collided with him.
Long ball looking for Cooper. It's out of bounds, but off of Brown. So it'll stick with Rockford. It'll get inbounded once again.
No time taken off the shot clock. With that, only thing that changes is the inbound spot for the ball.
So it's Agee throwing it in. And he's looking for Stuckey. Swinging to Bell. Over to Agee in the corner. On for a two. No good. Long rebound by Stuckey. Back to Agee. Now into the paint to Cooper. Cooper working on Brown. He's going to take it himself. Going up for it, and it is no good. Fighting for his own rebound, but Johnson gets the loose ball. Riker Johnson on the far side. Swings to Williams, to Zimmer, driving the goal line, and he just has to throw it away after he slips.
Zimmer was trying to push the baseline there, but just kind of lost his footing. Tried to make a pass of it, but there was no Cougar in the area.
Hogan going to Cooper at the top of the key. Jackson Cooper looking for something. Gets back to Hogan in the corner. Cooper in the paint going up on Brown, and he lays it in. Gives Rockford their first lead of the day. It's 4-2, 2.5 into the game. Johnson in the corner. Johnson slinging for Brown. Aaron Brown back to D. Williams. Now Brown driving hard to the line. Puts it up. No good. Well short of the rim.
Brown was driving through contact there, then tried to came at it from an angle that just ended up going right off the glass. Didn't even touch the rim.
Now corner three for Stuckey off the front of the rim. It's short again, but he gets his own rebound and goes up for two. Stuckey his first points of the night. Williams trying to drive in, respond. Floater off the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Rockford. Agee driving in. He backs out to the three. He'll take an open three and no good. Adrian Agee misses the wide open three, and the Cougars catch or break. They trail by 4. Haven't scored in over 3 minutes.
Rockford hasn't been able to hit a three yet this game, but they've been able to get some good offensive rebounds that they've been able to convert into points in the paint.
Aaron Brown, long two, and it's airballed over the rim. Another miss for the big man, and Rockford will take it back. Hogan, nice movement to Cooper. Can't get the rebound on the miss. And Lowry bringing it up court, waiting for help to arrive. Lowry Floater from the free throw line, no good again. Cougars 0 for their last 5 now. Bell driving himself, puts it up and gets it in. And there's the first timeout of the night from Rashawn Searles, and that one was a long time coming.
Yeah, you needed that. You had hit the first. Cougars hit the first bucket of the game. They went on top 2-0, and since then, Rockford's just gone on a run. The Cougars haven't been able to get anything to fall. And so now if you're Searles, Jonathan, what are you telling your players in the timeout?
It's a reset. You need a quick reset, and you just need a reset for your team. I mean, you're sliding. You haven't scored in over 4 minutes at this point.
Yeah, I think that's the right call there. Like, you start off hot, and they've been doing solid defensively with making it so that Rockford hasn't been able to get any of the exterior shots, but Rockford has 10 shots in the first 4 minutes. That's not sustainable for the Cougars defense throughout the length of this game.
Yeah, honestly, a lot of it is finishing. The Cougars are struggling to finish in the paint. Rockford's defending the rim very, very well right now, and no one from Concordia really can seem to find a way to get a good shot up. You're seeing the Cougars start to try to take some longer twos, just take any gas of open air that they can, and it hasn't worked out for CUC, and we'll see our first subs of the day for Concordia as Andreas Laulautis will come into the game, as will Matthew Guthrie.
This is a big possession here for the Cougars coming out of that timeout. They really need to find a way to get some more points on the board.
Laulautis at the top of the key, swinging to Williams. Williams looking for somewhere to go. Kicking over to Brown. Brown over to Laulautis. And Laulautis will just take the three, and it's well wide left, but Brown gets the rebound, and he can't finish at the rim again.
That's a big miss there for the Cougars. Laulautis missed the three, but Brown was right there to take it off the glass and put in a layup, but he just missed it.
Now Hogan dicking into Stuckley. Nice pass on the run to Trey Miller, who picks up his first 2 of the night.
And that was a nice sequence of events there for Rockford. They found Miller wide open on the baseline.
Brown at the rim again, no good, but he's able to draw the foul on Cooper.
And that's big for the Cougs. You haven't been able to score points since the first 20 seconds of this game. Now that you're heading to the charity stripe, you really need to take advantage and hopefully knock them both down to make this a 10-4 game.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's points by any means necessary as you get Aaron Brown to the free throw line. First free throw is good, and that breaks a 5-minute scoring drought for the Cougars. And we see Riker Johnson head out of the game for A.J. Willard. Brown looking to go 2 for 2 at the line. And it's good, so that shortens the gap to 6.
Doesn't break the field goal shooting drought, but if you're the Cougars, like you said, Jonathan, you'll take points by any means necessary.
The Cougars still not where they want to be by any means, as Trey Miller's working on Laulautis, floats it to Stuckley, swinging over to Grunlow back to Stuckley, driving the paint, slinging it for Hogan. He drives the line, back to Stuckley, over to Miller. Beautiful movement, AG pump fake, and a long 3, no good. And Brown gets the rebound, and it's going to be a jump ball.
And that was some great ball movement by the Regencies, getting the ball around the perimeter until they found the player with the wide open 3, who then just bricked it and went right off the glass, didn't even make contact with the rim.
Yeah, honestly, if Brown had let Rockford get that rebound, that would have been a shot clock violation and a turnover.
And I think that's what Coach Rashawn Searles is trying to argue to the referee. He's saying, hey, it never hit the rim. That should have been a violation. Should be Cougars ball.
And it looks like both of these teams are headed over to the sidelines right now. The officials having a quick chat with Coach Searles.
At first I thought they were going to review the replay because our replay team down there turned the monitor around to show them, but didn't end up happening.
They're still talking with Coach Searles. He's still not happy about it. But it will be Rockford ball. They'll put it in for Suckley over to Miller. And ball don't lie is what the Cougars will say as that pass is slung out of bounds. AG can't wrangle it.
Well, the Cougars may not have gotten the shot clock violation, but like you said, they get the ball back. Nevertheless, opportunity to try to cut into this Rockford lead some more.
I mean, it gets the job done. Williams laying it off to Lillard. Back to Williams, slinging it into Guthrie. Guthrie looking for somewhere, gets it to Brown. Brown nowhere to go except through. Puts it up, no good. And it's off of Brown. Aaron Brown not a fan of the call. But the Regents taking possession. Quick inbound to Hogan. Cougars pressing now. Hogan trying to get past Willard. Is able to get through. Hogan all alone at the top of the paint. Willard recovers. Now Hogan slinging to Miller. Miller looking for somewhere, slowly working his way up court, and he can't get the handoff executed to Hogan. It's a loose ball. Run low, swinging over to Bell. Bell to Stuckley, back to Bell. And he's going to drive it in and go up for two. No good, it rims out. And they're going to tag a late foul on Hogan. It looks like.
I think they're calling it on the potential fast break play there. It looked like Hogan grabbed, I believe it was I think it was Willard to stop him from getting down the court.
There's a transition foul on Cameron Hogan. And they'll have to...
I think they said the shot clock didn't go off.
Well, it looks like so if they restart play because the shot clock did not start immediately. And, the Cougars, they've scored, but they still have not scored since their first possession on the field. 0 for their last 8, none in the last 6.5. Laudis looking for somewhere, goes to Brown. Brown back to Laudis, slashing in, giving it to Guthrie. Long two, short again. It's out of bounds off of Brown.
And those are some of those shots that you just can't afford to miss, especially when you're trailing. You had a pretty wide open look. It was basically just a free throw and just shorted it.
And they'll tag a transition foul on A.J. Willard as he makes contact with Trey Miller. And we'll get another substitute for the Cougars. Kenton Pryor into the game now for Concordia. Hogan working on Willard. Gets it to Miller, Trey Miller. On the paint, trying to find an opening in, slashing, kicks it out to Wilna. Now Hogan slashing in himself, tries to lay it up, and he gets it to fall.
That was a nice move by Hogan. He just went all the way around. It was a bit of a tough shot, but he had a nice angle on it, nice touch, got it through the hoop.
Now Williams, he'll take a long three, just throw it up, no good again. Cougars, 10 straight missed shots. Trey Miller driving in, kicking it out. Grunlow now going in. Kicks it over to Belna. Now Bell has to get rid of it. Loudest tight defense on Miller, gives him a chance to drive. And he's fouled. Now we get tagged on Loudest.
Loudest was trying to play some tough defense there, but Right as the Rockford players start and crash in the paint, Lulauer just kind of reached around and grabbed him a bit.
This is a nightmare start for the Cougars. Scored on their opening possession. Haven't been able to get anything to fall from the field since. Trey Miller working on Lowry. Stuck on the baseline. Gets rid of it to Ag. Ag just throws up a floater. No good. Rebounded by Belna, who tries to fight his way through, and it's a turnover. Just throws it away to Willard. Willard, he's going to slash it in himself. Puts it up. Blocked by Grunlow. Able to get a hand on it as Willard goes up for it. Belna hands it off to Trey Miller. Miller driving to the baseline, kicking it over. A.J. Willard punches it out of bounds.
Willard's been everywhere defensively, running around, being in the middle of plays, just trying to create some disruption in order to give the Cougars the ball back. And while it's been hit or miss, he's made a few plays, but the Cougars haven't been able to convert those turnovers into points.
And we'll kick it down to Sam Smith from the sideline.
Hey guys, slow start for the Cougs offensively. And I want to go back to their previous matchup where it was 57-54 in a Cougar win earlier this season, and similar start for the Cougs, slow offensively. And something I want to highlight is Rockford went 6 for 30 from 3 in that game against the Cougars earlier, and so far they're 0-4 from the three-point line, so more of the same for Rockford, but they have an 8-point lead, and Cougars are down. Cougars only have 4 points. So back to you guys.
Thanks, Sam. And yeah, it's been a tough first 9 minutes or so for the Cougars. Like you've been saying, they just haven't been able to get any shots going. Meanwhile, Rockford's 6 for 15. They've been able to get the quality shots to fall.
Yeah, I mean, Eric, what do you got to do to fix this if you're the Cougars? What do you got to change for the next bit?
That's a good question. Maybe try to create some more ball movement. We've seen a lot of times Cougars just trying to crash the paint with the ball going solo, and that hasn't worked. So maybe you just kind of got to just get a bunch of passes out and see if you can find a way to get the perfect shot off.
Honestly, I think that's what it is. Cougars, they just can't seem to find good shots right now. And A.J. Willard trying to make another big defensive play. Can't bring that one down. Stuckley. Way out there. Low time on the shot clock. Just has to throw it up. Can't get it to fall. Cougars fighting over the rebound. And they'll try to go quick. Slinging it down court. Yangwa chucking it over to Privet. Carter Privet out to Johnson. Willard. Yangwa driving himself again. Kicking over to Privet. Carter Privet trying to do something. Just has to give it back to Yangwa. Under 10 to go on the shot clock. Privet's got to do something with it. He's double teamed. Gets it into Johnson. Easy layup. And finally, the Cougars get something to fall.
It might have taken almost the entire shot clock, but the Cougars were able to find the wide open man in the paint who was able to convert the easy points off the glass.
Yeah, it's just a nice long possession. You draw the defender away. Privet gets double teamed, and you find the open man in the paint. And there's Hogan able to draw the shooting foul.
Believe that was called on Willard, so that's his second.
Cameron Hogan chance at the line to get those 2 points back. And by both of these teams standing through the first 10 minutes, Eric, it has been a low-scoring game so far.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because these teams are both pretty decent from the field, but neither one hasn't been able to get consistent shots off. The Cougars weren't able to score a shot for 9 minutes. Meanwhile, Rockford's just been extremely hit or miss.
Yeah, we've been seeing some long possessions from both of these teams. For the Cougars, it's long possessions that don't turn into points, which is the last thing that you want to see out on the court. For the Regions, it's long possessions. Some of them turn it into points, but not as many as they would want. Hogan's able to go 1 for 2 on that trip, makes it a 7-point game. As Privet will run point again, kicking over to Yangwa. Yangwa swinging over. Privet for 3 off the front of the rim. No good again. Cougars 0 for 4 from 3 to start the day.
And that was a decent look for Privet there. He was wide open. Maybe should have taken a step forward to try to make it a bit of a closer 3.
Cooper Trying to post up on Brown, just kicks it out to Hogan, over to Suckley. Pump fake, drives it in, kicks out to Hogan. He'll go for three. Off the back of the rim, no good. Suckley the rebound, and the second chance bucket.
And that's either the third or fourth time this game, Jonathan, where Rockford has missed a three but got the offensive rebound.
Brown long two, can't get it to fall. And Rockford chance to respond again. Cameron Hogan trying to work the sideline, gives it to Bell. Bell going down to Cooper. He'll post up again. He's going to put it up himself for two. Rockford staying hot. They've got an 11-point lead, their largest of the day. Yangwa just trying to force up a bucket, and he is able to. Nice response from the sophomore.
Wasn't the best shot or the most prettiest, but he was able to get it in the hoop, and that's all that matters.
And the Regents trying to beat the press. Had the opportunity, and Jaden Bell panicked. And they're going to tag Yangwa with the shooting foul as AG just threw it up.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. Like, he was obviously trying to go for the fast break, take advantage of the press, but he threw it so high it just went straight off the side of the rim.
Yeah, Coach Searles is not happy about that call. He has not been the best of friends with these officials so far today.
To Coach Searles' credit, it was a bit of a weirdly late whistle. It wasn't on the contact. The whistle wasn't blown until the ball had bounced off the rim.
Overall, it's just been a frustrating day for Concordia. You're able to get that free throw to get a couple buckets to fall, still 2 for your last 15, 18% from the field on the day. As you're going to go back down by 11 as AG is able to convert on both free throws.
And now the Cougars have to continue to find ways to answer offensively, which they just haven't been able to do so far in this game.
Privet, running point, gets it to Brown. Brown, top of the key, over to Yangwa. Yangwa looking for somewhere, goes over to Hill. Sebastian Hill for three, no good off the front of the rim. That's now 10 combined missed threes from these teams today. No one's made one yet. Cougars putting up that full court press again. They're able to get through it. Miller swinging over to Stuckley. Stuckley up to Grunlow. Grunlow over to AG, puts up a three. That one's no good. 11 missed threes from both of these squads. Now Yangwa, top of the paint, he's just going to drive it, has to back out of it. Kicks it out to Privet, who drives and lays it in. Carter Privet, his first points of the night, and the Cougars crack double digits.
That was a nice play there by Privet. He got the ball from Yangwa and just saw the lane and took it.
Those high percentage buckets the Cougars have been missing so far today. Bell into the paint to Grunlow. Quickly double team, just has to escape. AG can't get through Yangwa. 8 on the shot clock. AG's got to do something. Goes to Bell. Long three. No good. Out of bounds, and it's off of Grunlow.
Good possession there defensively for the Cougars. It looked for a sec Rockford had a guy in the paint, but the Cougars were able to double team him immediately, took away that shot opportunity to where Rockford was forced to try to shoot a three.
Hey guys, Cougars down 9, and part of that could be how well Rockford is rebounding. They're out rebounding the Cougs 16-8, and that's a big problem because they're still shooting the threes. They're just getting too many offensive boards, and Concordia has no answer for it, and need to get on the glass in order to get this game closer.
And to what Sam was saying, Cougars have been out-rebounded by double by Rockford, and 5 of those rebounds have been offensively. Rockford has missed threes, but then have been able to get the offensive rebound and turn them into easy points off the glass. So even though it's not 3 points, it's still 2 points, and that's what's allowed them to maintain this lead.
I mean, all things considered, 9-point gap for the Cougars. After the way they've been shooting, it could be a lot worse.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Jonathan. 4 for 18 from the field, only being down 9. You'll take that. They've come back from bigger deficits before.
Cougars starting to find some stuff. We mentioned they've been struggling to create those high percentage buckets. done a better job that last couple possessions, and they'll have the ball coming off of a tough defensive stand. Carter Privet will continue to run point. He's going to go to work on Cameron Hogan. Privet, nice ball to Brown, just drives it in and puts up the layup. Aaron Brown gets it to fall.
And those are the possessions you want to see from the Cougars. It's some nice ball movement. Privet found it to Brown, who's able to just charge the paint and do what he does best.
Aaron Brown, he has struggled tonight for Concordia. Before that bucket, 1 for 7, now 2 for 8. And all but one of those shots have been layup attempts. So Aaron Brown, him starting to hit those layups is key to the Cougars. Now Cooper kicking to Miller for 3. No good again. Gongwa on the rebound. Quickly in motion to Privet. Privet right up to the three-point line. Out to Yangwa. Yangwa driving baseline. Double team. Gets it to Hill for 3. No good. And Brown tagged with a reach over.
And that was good vision there by Yangwa. He had a bit of a tough scenario there on the baseline and then got the ball out so the Cougars would hit a 3, but again, they just missed it.
Yeah, that's a high percentage 3, too. Sebastian Hill, a great opportunity. 14 3-points miss across both of these squads, and that's shocking for both of these teams. The Cougars, they're not a high-volume 3 team, but they usually do shoot pretty well. Rockford is a high-volume 3-point team, and usually they're able to hit 1 for 8 at minimum. They haven't been able to do that today, and they've had some very good looks, too.
Yeah, Rockford's had some great opportunities, and they just haven't been able to get the 3 balls to fall.
Hogan driving in, throws it up, no good. Cooper on the rebound, out to Bell. Bell back into Cooper. Easy shot for Grunlow, wide open in front of the bucket. You only get that kind of shot out on the schoolyard. And Yangwa just slashing into the paint, able to draw the foul on Grunlow.
Young just went in there like a missile, trying to create something offensively and drew the Rockford foul.
And it'll stay on the floor for Concordia. D. Williams and Kenton Pryor back out onto the court. Privet looking for Pryor. Just going to hand it off to Lowry. Tallis Lowry calls the play, works to the right. Kicking over to Brown for 3. No good again.
Make it 15 missed threes between the two teams.
Yeah, the shots from range are cursed tonight in Geisman. As Cooper, he's going to go to work in the post, which is all that's been working. And it's no good. Can't get it through contact. Who's on the rebound. Privet driving baseline out to Williams from the elbow, and he hits it. Nice turnaround jumper for D. Williams, his first points of the night. Now Hogan. Pass swatted down by Williams. Still gets to Stuckley. I look to Hogan in the corner now. He drives his way in, throws up a floater, no good, gets his own rebound, and he draws the foul. Nice pump fake to draw Brown in.
Going back to that last Cougars offensive possession, Williams finally got his first bucket of the night. He was finally able to make it fall. And you want to see if you can get him going now, because he's been out cold the whole game. But now that he's finally got that first points, he's on the board now. If he can start getting the shots to fall, Cougars can very easily get back in this, only trailing by 7.
Cameron Hogan on the night, 1 for 2 from the line. And he'll make it 1 for 3. The 1-and-1 does not go. Williams from the elbow again. That one's covered, and he can't get it to fall. Worked once, why not try it again? Because it might not work that time, as Cooper now posting up on Guthrie. Can't get it to fall. Privet hangs on to the rebound through contact, floats it up for Lowry. Tallis Lowry cuts to the middle. Out to Williams, a long 3, rims out. Guthrie with the putback off the front of the rim, just a weak shot. And both of these teams just not shooting all that great right now.
Do you think that we'll get to a combined 20 missed threes, Jonathan? We're already at 16.
And you look at this shooting percentages for these two teams, 33% for Rockford, 24% for the Cougars, which that's not great already. And then you consider the fact a lot of these shots have been coming from in the paint too.
Yeah, the Cougars 6 for 25. Only 8 of them have been threes, which means that they just haven't been able to get the short, close shots to fall. And that's been the Cougars' bread and butter all season. So that the fact that they're missing those is a bit of a worrying sign for the Cougars in this game.
Yeah, but the good news is in a game where you've hit 6 buckets in the first half, in the first 15 minutes of the game, you're only down 7, which, all things considered, is not nearly as bad as it could be, like we said, all night so far. Rockford, they've had their own struggles from the field. They're 1 for their last 8, and they'll look to fix that on this possession.
Yeah, if you're the Cougars, you'll thank your lucky stars that you're only down 7.
Cameron Hogan going to work on Carter Privet. Go for the screen. Bell driving baseline, going under the rim, still working with it. Guthrie follows. Out to Stuckley, under 10 to go. Bell into the paint to Cooper. Got to get it up, and he gets it to fall.
Nice.
Cooper unfazed by the shot clock, and he gets it to go.
That was a nice play by Cooper Jackson to make the shot with the defender all over him.
And Lowry able to draw the foul as Cooper just runs up and gives him a little bit of a shoulder.
That'll head us now to a media timeout, and what has been a bit of an odd game, wouldn't you say, Jonathan?
Yeah, I mean, you don't see a game like this all that often, do you?
No, you really don't. You see games where one team's really hot from the field while the other's cold. You don't usually see games where both teams can't really make anything happen. It's just both teams have been dry from the field. When they've gone to the 3 for both sides, the threes just aren't happening. Again, a combined 0 for 16 between the two teams. It's just been a really ugly first half.
In all honesty, this isn't too out of character for what we expect, at least from Rockford struggling. This is a team bottom of the NAC in team shooting percentage from the field, and that's actually where they're shooting from around right now. Rockford sitting at 35%, they're 38% on the year. And the Cougars, they're the second best in the NAC at limiting opponents' shooting percentage. It's the Cougars' shooting percentage that is the abnormal right now. They usually shoot around 42% from the field. They're shooting under 30, around 24 right now. It's not where Coach Searles wants his team to be, and they got 4 minutes to finish it off strong in the first half.
Yeah, the Cougar defense has done a good job at stopping the Rockford opportunities. It's just been when they get down the court, they haven't been able to convert on offense.
We'll head out onto the court. Cougars will have possession out of the media timeout. Privet will start things off with Lowry. Swings it to Lowry in the corner. Lowry driving a lot of space. He's got 2 men on him. Just going to put up a hook shot, and he gets it to fall. Nice jumper. And the Cougars back within 7.
That was a great play by Talis Lowry there. He had a man all over him, but he was able to turn and get the nice hook shot off.
Taking it and doing it himself as Hogan goes to Bell. Bell takes the pick. No good. And Pryor goes down, draws the foul. Coach Rigel not happy with how his team played that transition.
No, definitely not. But Cougars now, they got the defensive stop. Opportunity to try to get some more points on the board.
Lowry going to Privet, going to Williams. Williams to the corner to Lowry, driving baseline. Lowry goes up for it. No one challenging. Talis Lowry, 2 buckets in a row, and it's down to a 5-point game.
Lowry came like a missile down the baseline, and like you said, no one even tried to stop him. He just tapped that off the glass, and nice and easy.
It's down to the paint to Bell, and he gets it to go over the outstretched arm of Pryor. He was trying to respond quickly. Lowry on the sideline. He's going to take it to the baseline himself. He's blocked this time. Gets it out to Williams. Straight away 3. Gets it to fall on the 19th attempt of the day. one of these teams gets it to go, as Carter Privet will knock that one out of bounds.
Carter Privet had a nice play defensively. He came in there just trying to disrupt the inbounds pass. There was no one there to recover. It was the issue. But like you said, Cougars finally got a 3 to fall. And who else? Darian Williams, he's the one that nailed it, made it a 4-point game.
Yeah, 4-point game. This is the closest it's been since probably the first 3 minutes. As Cameron Hogan will go to work on D. Williams. Hogan driving to the baseline! Guthrie slams it down!
Guthrie came out of absolute nowhere, just rejected that one, put it straight back into the ground.
I mean, it stays with Rockford, but Guthrie with a big block.
That was a beautiful block.
Hogan going up for it again. This time takes the high arc and is able to get it over Guthrie.
Hogan said, I'm going to make sure you can't block this one. I'm going to put it all the way over.
Lowry trying to drive himself, just has to throw it up. But he's able to draw the foul, and we're starting to see a little bit of a foul fest out there on the court from both of these squads.
Yeah, both these teams have gotten physical here in the last few minutes of the first half, trying to see if they can just get some aggressiveness, get some momentum on their side heading into halftime.
Yeah, and part of it gets to that point. I mean, we talked about it at the start of the game when the Cougars in a scoring drought. It's score by any means necessary. Right now, for these teams, let's draw the foul as Talis Lowry isn't able to convert the free shot from the free throw line. Lowry trying to bring it to a 5-point game with his second shot. And he gets it to go. 5-point game, 2 minutes to go. Bell working to the right, swinging to Miller. Miller going for the screen again. Bell for 3, no good. Pryor leaps for the rebound. And they're gonna tag a foul on Cooper Belna after the play. The second foul we've seen in the last couple of minutes. It's away from the play from Rockford. It puts the Cougars into the bonus.
Yeah, that's an interesting call there. In the moment, I didn't see any contact between anyone. Really, I just saw the Cougars go up for that rebound, but hey, Cougars will take the free throws.
Guthrie hits the first free throw. Looking to go 2 for 2 on this trip, the 1-and-1. That one very short off the front of the rim. Minute 40 to go. Miller running point. Taking it to the left now, cutting back inside. Swinging to Stuckley. Stuckley out to Miller. Miller driving. Jump stop, and he travels. Trey Miller trying to get tricky with it. And he can't keep the feet on the ground.
Yeah, Miller was trying to really push the paint there. He thought he had the advantage, but his feet both went up, and then when he came down, he still had ball.
Yeah, both of these teams are playing tight defense today. And it pays off for the Cougars again. Williams driving in, double team, fade away jumper, no good. Lowry on the rebound. Going for the putback himself, that's no good.
Lowry tried to go around underneath, but didn't get an angle on it. He just went straight up.
And Bell drives in and lays it in himself, brings it back to a 6-point game with a minute to go. Lowry to Williams. Williams, double team, got to get it out of there. Knoll for 3, no good, off the back of the rim.
Now it's about a 9-second difference between shot and game clock. So barring an offensive rebound by Rockford, Cougars would have the last shot of the half.
Agee slinging it across the court. Miller for 3. Doesn't get that one to go. And they're going to call a foul on D. Williams on the court. They're going to say he hip checked his man. D. Williams doesn't like it. It's his second foul of the day. So it's 20 seconds to go and a 6-point lead. Cooper Belna will get a 1-and-1 at the line.
Regents here with the opportunity to try to stretch their lead just a little bit more heading into the half, try to keep the momentum on their side more or less.
Belna doesn't get the first shot to fall. Cougars will take possession in the last possession of the half. Lowry out to Williams for three. Drills it! Nothing but net for D. Williams. And it's going to be a 3-point game into the locker room. That net still hooked around the rim after Williams splashed it in.
And that's the type of shot you want heading into half, Jonathan. D. Williams took a three almost from Steph Curry land, and he drilled it nothing but net. And that was just beautiful. Make it just a one-possession game going into halftime in a game where the Cougars have trailed much of it and couldn't get anything going offensively. They finally have some life.
Absolutely. A sloppy first half for Concordia, not shooting the way they want to, and they managed to get out of it, trailing only by 3 as these two squads held back to the locker room. We'll go away for a bit. We'll be back a few minutes before the second half with a halftime show on the Cougar Sports Network. Cougar Nation, and welcome back to Geisman Gymnasium. It's halftime between the Cougars and the Regents in what has been a bit of a weird game so far from both of these teams, and honestly atrocious first 10 minutes from the Cougars. 2 for their first 15 field goals, trailing for a long time. They've managed to shorten it to a 3-point gap going into the half, and that's from the struggles of the Rockford Regents. That's been a struggle for both of these teams overall, and it's the elephant in the room that we'll let Sam take care of right off the bat.
Yeah, the 3-point shooting thing, guys. Pretty much been horrible. Rockford's close for 10, for 11. They really had it in the half, make it a point game. It's not really even like a point game.
No, it's not. And I mean, the Cougars, they've been lucky to stay in it. You kind of talked about it before the game, though, Eric. This is the Rockford team that lives and dies by the 3 for most of the season. They got their win done at Edgewood last time out in the paint, and so far tonight, they've been getting everything done in the paint again.
Yeah, there have been several times where they've taken threes, and while they haven't been able to get the threes, they've been able to get an offensive rebound and put it right back up off the glass to still get points out of that possession. So they've been able to keep adding points slowly but surely.
Yeah, they haven't gotten any of those threes yet, but that 38% field goal percentage, it's right on their season average from that mark. The Cougars, they're keeping the Rockford shooting percentage low where they want it. Rockford does have the lowest shooting percentage in the NAC to this point in the season. Cougars, it's definitely below where they want it to be. But we have seen that change towards the end of the half, haven't we, Sam?
Yeah, kind of got it like started rolling a little bit there in the last 5-10 minutes of the half. They had a couple buckets. And like I was saying earlier, it does not feel like a football game, but we know what they've been doing in the second half, especially what they did last game against Rockford. So excited to see both offenses getting going in the second half.
There's a lot to be looking out for in the second half. Pretty much going to have a fresh start with both of these teams pretty much right smack dab, even 39-36 as we get ready to go into the second half. The Cougars looking to get that shooting hot right off the bat, trying to not have a repeat of the first half. Rockford, they need to fix what they were doing from the 3-point line. Got to get those points up, because right now the Cougars are closing fast as we get going. So guys, before we head back up for the second half, who are you guys looking to play a big role in this second half?
I'm thinking D. Williams, he had 8 points in the first half, 6 from the field, and if he can get hot, he can find a spot. But I also want to talk about part of the best against really nice passes, gets a nice little left-hand layup, so shout out to that. But D. Williams is their star player.
Yeah.
And as for me, I'm going to go Talis Lowery. He has some really nice plays there in the final stretch of the first half. He's doing a good job of running the baseline and attacking the boards and getting some nice shots off there. If he can keep that going, that's a nice tool that the Cougars can keep using throughout this game.
Absolutely, and that's something the Cougars will look to get done in the second half. 39-36 between these two squads. Rockford leads by 3. Cougars trying to close. We'll be right back in a minute for that game action right here on the Cougar Sports Network. And we're back on the Cougar Sports Network for half number 2 between the Cougars and the Regents. I'm Jonathan Shear with the Cougar Sports Network here with Eric Perry as things get underway. Cougars starting with possession in half number 2. D. Williams slinging it over to Tallis Lowry. Cougars trailing by 3, looking to shorten that quickly, but Jaden Bell jumps on it, and he can't go up for the layup. A nice track down from Lowry. And Lowry still fighting for it. And he's able to knock it out of bounds. A great recovery to make up for his mistake.
Yeah, that was a fantastic play. Lowry, the Regents were ready to just get a quick point, but Lowry was able to come back and disrupt it, make it so he couldn't even get a shot off.
Now Jackson working into the paint, kicking out to Stuckley. Bell for 3, no good. Rockford 0 for 10 from 3 in the first half. Don't fix it on their first shot. Brown just driving in, chucks it up off the side of the backboard, no good. That's just a forced shot from Aaron Brown.
Yeah, that's not a good shot to take.
But he's able to get the tip and knock that one down on the defensive end. Makes up for his mistake. Carter Privet played well in the first half, earned some more minutes in the second half, but he chucks that one off the bottom of the backboard.
Yeah, Privet was trying to move around, get an angle, but it just wasn't right, so it just went, like you said, straight off the bottom of the backboard.
Hogan kicking out to Stuckley, pump fake from 3. Kicking over to Agee. Over to Bell, over to Hogan. Hogan in the paint to Jackson. Jackson posting up on Brown, turning, hook shot, and it just sits there and falls into the net.
Good ball movement by Rockford. They kept stretching it out around the perimeter until they got someone down in the paint that could get an easier shot off.
Lowry, turnaround jumper, no good. Rebounded by Jackson. Almost 2 minutes in, Cougars yet to score in the second half. Coach Searles not the happiest with what he's seen. His team off to another slow start. Agee swinging over to Hogan, who's going to slash his way into the baseline and put up a shot for 2. 7-point game. Rockford's hot out of the gate.
That was a nice play by Hogan. He's done a good job in this game of just creating some separation where he can just get a nice shot off, usually a relatively close one.
Tallis Lowry. Over to Brown, into Johnson. Turnaround, no good. Can't get the rebound either. Hogan working to the right. Back to Agee, into Bell for a layup. And Coach Searles got to call the timeout. Rockford hot out of the gate in the second half.
And if you're Searles, this is...
try to figure things out. In the first media timeout, we'll kick things down to Sam Smith for his perspective from the sideline.
Hey guys, more of the same in this second half so far. No buckets for the Cougs. They're trying to go in the paint with the struggling. They've been struggling from three-point land, like we said, at halftime, but they're trying to get into the paint and clearly not working so far, so the Cougs really need to get something going on offense. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sam. And yeah, the Cougars, this is not the start they needed to the second half.
No, absolutely not. Haven't scored in the first 2.5 minutes. Rockford's gotten 6 total points, stretched the lead back up to 9. And it's been the story of the first half where the Cougars were able to get shots, but the shots just wouldn't fall for them.
Yeah, and it's not the start, really, that we expected from Rockford. They take the 3, they miss the 3, but then it's into the paint again and again and again, and the Regents just pounding the paint right now. All 6 of their points in this half coming from around above the rim, and they've got a 9-point lead quickly. Coach Searles, the squad, got to get things back on track and soon.
Yeah, again, it's only a 9-point lead. Cougars have come back from trailing by more, but eventually time is not on your side, and the desperation shots just get a little bit more desperate, and the play becomes sloppier, and you don't want that if you're the Cougars.
Privet kicking over to Youngwa. Youngwa close out on by Jackson. Driving baseline, loses it, can't hang on through contact, and it's out of bounds off of Youngwa.
And that is absolutely not what you want to see coming out of a timeout. You're trying to score some points. You're not trying to have a turnover right off the knee of your guy in the paint.
This is very similar to what we saw in the first half. Cougars to start things out, struggling to create opportunities, struggling with that ball movement, and Rockford's taking advantage of it. And some quick thinking from Cameron Hogan. He trips on his own feet, starts to fall out of bounds, and chucks it out of bounds, and chucks it off of Yangwa to keep possession.
And nice play by Hogan. He saw that he was going out, and he knew he had to keep possession, so he just bounced it right off Youngwa's legs.
9-point lead for the Regents. Stuckley inbounds it to Hogan. Cameron Hogan working on Yangwa again. Over to Miller. Miller floating it up for Jackson. Easy layup, and it's back to an 11-point game.
Brown tried to go up for it, but it was just a little bit over his head, and Jackson was able to tap it off the glass, make it a double-digit Regent lead.
D. Williams loses the ball. Brown's there to pick it up. Slings it into Johnson. Johnson working the paint. Double teamed. Turning. Nowhere to go. Out to Brown for three. No good. Willard disrupts it. Almost has the takeaway. AG in the corner to Stuckley. Stuckley back to AG. Over to Hogan. Takes it in. Miller for three. No good again. Jackson on the rebound. Gets it out to Miller. Now AG from three. That one falls. The Regents get the three to go, and they lead by 14.
Regents said, we're not going to miss 13 threes in a row. 12 is where we draw the line. And AG got it to fall.
Yangwa fade away, no good. Brown with the rebound, and he's fouled. So the Cougars, over 4 minutes into the half, still scoreless and down by 14 with a chance at the free throw line.
And this is a big shift from what we saw going into halftime. The Cougars had been hot. D. Williams hit that nice three right as time expired. Looks like they had the momentum on their side, but like you said, 4 minutes have gone by. They haven't been able to get a bucket.
Yeah, and it was a rough start.
Yeah, Cougars, you got to try to course correct here in this media timeout. Try to make something happen. Just try to find a way to get yourselves back in this.
And as we take our second media timeout, we take a quick break. We'll send things back on down to Sam Smith.
Hey guys, still no points for the Cougars this half. They need to get something going. They're looking extremely sluggish here on offense. And Rockford made their first three of the game, like we were talking about at halftime. And now it's a 14-point deficit. Cougars tried something with the full court pressure, and just nothing going for them right now, defensively and offensively. So let's see if the Cougars can get anything going here in this second half. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Sam. And like you were saying, just the two phases of the Cougars team has not been well. Offense hasn't been able to do anything. Defense has been performing less than ideal. Jonathan, in this timeout, if you're Coach Searles, what are you telling your players?
I mean, you hear it again and again. It's a trope, but it's cliche. Forget about it. Mm-hmm. You have to mentally reset. You have to clear that slate, because what we're seeing right now, the Cougars, they've been struggling, and you can tell it's sticking with their heads. They're starting to force more shots. They're not waiting for the good opportunities, or they're not taking advantage of the good opportunities, and they're trying to force shots. They're trying to force passes that aren't there. And, I mean, you're still scoreless. Those free throws haven't been taken yet. You're down by 14, and you're going to need to make another comeback now, which is not where you want to be if you're Concordia.
Yeah, it's the logic of, oh no, you're starting to get behind by a bit. You got to get the shots up in order to turn it around, so you keep taking worse and worse shots. But the Cougars still have 16 full minutes to come back.
Brown, first bucket, well off the front of the rim. No good. Let's say it a 14-point game for now. Second shot. That one's in. Cougars' first point of the half makes it a 13-point game.
And like you've been saying, Jonathan, Cougars will take any points that they can get.
Agee trying to blitz his way past Willard. Double team, gets it to Stuckley. Stuckley to Hogan. Hogan working towards the baseline. Backtracks out to Stuckley. Stuckley over to Miller. Miller takes the pick. dribbles it off his own shoe, able to get it back. Under 10 to go. Miller's got to do something. Driving in, kicking to Belma, who puts it in for 2.
That was a nice recovery off the kicked ball.
Williams, just a quick drive and a jumper, but he's able to draw the foul on the follow-through, so he'll get 2 shots at the line.
Hogan a bit incredulous at that. He thought he was straight up, but that's Hogan's 3rd foul of the game. Officially makes him the first player on either team to be in foul trouble.
But still, though, for the Cougars, this is worst case scenario. In the first half, when they were struggling to shoot, the good news was Rockford was as well. But right now, Rockford is shooting fantastic. 6 for their last 7, as the Cougars, with that free throw, just have 2 points in the half so far. They trail by 14 now. Could trail by 13 provided Williams hits this next free throw. And you came into the half down by 3. So in a game where you're already coming back, you lose all the ground you made, and you got to come back even more.
Yeah, and again, it's not like only that the offense has to start hitting their shots. The defense also needs to clamp down on Rockford like they were doing for much of the first half.
Now AG, he'll take another 3. And that one's no good. That's out of bounds. Off of Bell. They'll give it to the Cougars.
Yeah, it looked like that one went right off Bell's head and out of bounds.
Williams going quickly down the court, slashing to the baseline. Stopping, turning, he's going to reset, kicking out to Pryor. Pryor now slashing. Out to Guthrie, over to Willard, to Williams. D. Williams to Hill. Long 3, no good. Willard knocks it down. It's out of bounds, and it stays with the Cougars. A.J. Willard, a hard-earned possession for CUC.
And A.J. Willard, he might not necessarily be blowing up the stat sheet, but you watch him play, Jonathan, and he has been everywhere, being a very disruptive force for the Regents.
Guthrie working in the post, trying to find somewhere to go. Working his way in, has it taken away, kicks it out to Willard. From the corner, no good. Pryor gets the rebound to Willard for 2.
Cougars now going slowly but surely.
Matthew Guthrie trying to track down the long ball. Trey Miller didn't see him coming. And Guthrie trying to knock the ball away, goes through the ball and gets Miller in the face. That's a foul tagged on Matthew Guthrie. And possession will stay with the Regents.
Yeah, Guthrie basically gave Miller a lariat there, went right at the neck and head.
Trey Miller calls the play, taking his time, got a lot of time. And he draws the foul on D. Williams. That's Williams' 3rd of the half.
So now both teams are sitting with one player in foul trouble.
High pass in for Bell, able to bring it down. Kicking out to AG to Miller. Miller, quick movement, driving in. Stops, jumps, puts it up. Doesn't even get to the rim. Williams moving quickly. Hands it off to Hill, Sebastian Hill. Slinging it in for Pryor, able to keep it in. Working the baseline, and he's going to draw the foul on Miller.
The Regents bench, Jeremy Riegel, their head coach, I think he was calling for a double dribble there. He was upset about something.
So that's Trey Miller's first foul of the day. Corner 3, no good. And they're going to tag Willard with a shove on the rebound. And Coach Riegel happy with that call, thanking the officials. Wasn't happy with one he thinks they missed earlier. Jaden Hill slinging down for Stuckey. Stuckey out to Trey Miller. Grunlow hands it off to Trey Miller. Miller to AG, to Grunlow. Working on Williams. Kicks it out to Stuckey. Stuckey slashing. Puts up the mid-range jumper and hits it.
Nice play by Stuckey. Fought until he had a pretty decent shot, and he took it.
Tallis Lowry cutting, kicking to Williams. Long three. No good. Kenton Pryor through the foul, puts it up. Jersey was getting grabbed, still gets the bucket.
And now it's just beautiful there by Kenton Pryor. Like you said, even though he was fouled, he didn't let that stop him. He worked until he could get underneath and place it off the glass.
Under 15 on the shot clock. AG space driving, taken away by Willard and Williams. Williams to Willard. Willard easy two, and the Cougars back into a single-digit gap. It's 44-35.
One thing you got to say about these Cougars is they have a lot of fight in them.
High pressure on the press. The Cougars force it out of bounds. 4 seconds on the shot clock for the Regents to get it across midcourt.
The Cougars and A.J. Willard in particular have been doing a great job at just pushing the Regents on defense and getting in the way.
And we have our first time out from Coach Regal of the half. So we'll take a quick break on the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back after a full timeout in just a minute. And we're back on the Cougar Sports Network. It's Rockford ball. 4 seconds to get it across midcourt. Inbounded to Miller. Got to go quick. 2 seconds to go. 1 second. Taken away by D. Williams. Williams slinging for Lowry. Lowry slashing in, spinning, blocked. Good defensive play from the paint squad of the Regents. And that's a travel. Adrian Agee can't get through the double team. He goes to ground holding the ball. And it's another turnover. Coach Reigel going after the officials again.
He was trying to plead his case to the near side ref, saying it was a foul, but Cougars get ball off the travel.
To be honest, he does have a bit of a case. The refs have been letting some stuff go. It's been a little bit hard to tell what they're going to call a foul in this half. Now Willard driving in. And now they're going to call a moving screen on Guthrie. So the Cougars are upset with something now. And right now, these officials can do nothing right for either of these coaches.
Well, you know, at least they're consistent in how much both coaches don't like him right now. And that moving screen call was really weird. It felt like a very late whistle on it.
I mean, it's kind of funny. It's like we got a little ping pong match going on between Coach Searles and Coach Reigel. One of them, they'll chew out the ref. Next play on the other side of the court, something happens, and now Searles is chewing out the ref, and they're batting that roll back and forth in this second half. Stuckey in the middle, has to dribble it back out. Now Bell looking for somewhere to go. Puts it inside to Jackson, and he can't bring it in. It's out of bounds. Turnover, possession, Cougs.
And Jackson tried to reach for that one, but it's just a little bit too much to his left.
Lowry getting it over to Willard. Williams to Pryor. Pryor driving, double team, slinging out to Williams. Baseline drive, out to Pryor. Pryor now with the baseline drive, spinning. Just has to fit up a fadeaway jumper, no good. Now Hogan, quick movement, AG, step, 3. Off the back of the rim, no good, rebounded by Hogan. Hogan trying to take the jumper himself, and he gets it to go.
Hogan has been a big force for the Regions on the board. He's got 8, make that 9 rebounds.
Ooh. A.J. Willard has that one taken away. It's out of bounds off of the Regents. And he took a big hit from Jackson after the play.
So you speak about the refs not being consistent with their foul calls.
Carter Privet back into the game. He'll take the inbound. Privet looking for somewhere to go. Just chucks it out for Willard. Yangwa running point. Gets it to Willard. Willard to Pryor. Pryor to Privet. Privet. Got to do something. Under 10 to go. Brown driving, spinning. Down to Yangwa. Wide open under the rim. AG lost track of him. Yangwa snuck in behind him.
And that was just perfect movement by Yangwa to get away from AG. Move until he was wide open on the baseline.
AG able to bring down the high pass. Working on Willard. Middle of the court. Jumper from the free throw line. Gets it to go. Yangwa taking it down. Swinging to Brown. Baseline drive. And he draws a foul. That one tagged on Jackson.
And that's going to be Jackson's 4th foul. He's tied with Bell for leading the Regents in points, and now he's going to have to leave this game for, you imagine, at least 4 or 5 minutes.
It's been a rough half so far in that department for Cooper Jackson. Cougars keeping possession. Get it into Brown. Back to Privet. Privet. Slinging to Willard. Willard to Brown in the paint. Brown driving, puts it up through contact. No good, but he draws the foul again. This one tagged on Cameron Hogan.
And that's Hogan's 4th now, so 2 big Regent players all of a sudden only have 1 foul left until they foul out, and you imagine that Hogan will also most likely be leaving the game soon.
Yeah, it might be these teams getting tired, but it has been a tale of 2 halves in the foul department. Rockford so clean in the first half, already at 5 fouls. Cougars about par for the course, 4 fouls so far in this half. Brown's first bucket is good. Brings it to a 10-point game. Brown's second bucket, no good, but Yangwa gets the rebound. Chucking for Privet, open 3, no good. And the officials miss a call in the paint.
There was a big collision between a Regent and a Cougar. Nothing was called either way.
Trey Miller. And the Cougars now getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah, you want to talk about questionable calls, Jonathan. I think we saw 3 of them in the span of about 8 seconds there.
Yeah, Privet's tagged with a blocking foul. Now Coach Searles wants to talk about Privet was trying to go around the screen. The screen pulled out as Privet's going around. He gets tripped up because of the movement and falls down. And then the player who's setting the screen is trying to walk backwards after tripping Privet. They trip over Privet and they draw the foul. So I think both of these teams honestly confused because it has been a messy last couple of minutes.
And if you're a referee and you're going to have bad calls, at least keep them consistent. Don't be changing up the way that you're calling them as the game progresses. Keep the at least poor consistency.
Yeah, the one thing is there's a lack of consistency for both of these squads right now. Miller putting up the shot, and he draws the foul. Coach Searles just puts the hands up in the air. Nothing you can do about it. That one tagged on Privet, and Miller will head to the free throw line.
Privet's picked up 2 in quick succession, but luckily for the Cougs, he hadn't had one yet, so he's still clear of foul trouble for the time being.
And if you're a fan of the Oklahoma City Thunder, you'd be loving this game. We're seeing a lot of action in the foul department so far.
Yeah. Both teams at points with the rebounds have almost looked like SGA driving the lane.
Miller missed the first free throw. Looking to pick up the second. And second doesn't go. Back to an 11-point game in favor of the Regents. 9 minutes to go in the game. D. Williams taking point. Gets it to Yanghua. Yanghua double teamed. Can't get rid of it. That's going to be a jump ball.
And so possession will head back to the Regents off that jump ball. Youngwood just couldn't escape the immediate double team that encircled him there.
And Rockford's been doing that all night long. It's been working out for them. That double team defense, just double teaming whoever has possession. Regents' chance to extend their lead even more.
And if you're the Regents at this point, you'd be happy to go shot for shot with the Cougs. That'd give you a pretty comfortable W here.
Miller working on Yanghua. And they're going to tag a shoving foul on Honore Yanghua. That's the Cougars' 7th, and Rockford's in the bonus. It'll be 1-1 for Miller.
That's funny. The Regents aren't a great free throw shooting team, but they're shooting drastically under their season average. They normally shoot about 65%. They're only at 50 here from the charity stripe today.
First shot is good.
Jonathan, I was always taught growing up that when you're at the line and you make the first free throw, you should keep your feet planted and not move. Do you agree with that strategy?
I'm not really sure. I mean, when you look at specifically tonight, it's hard to predict whether you're going to get that call at this point in the game. I think you just got to keep playing the way you've been playing. It's the same for both sides right now. Neither team likes the way this game's being officiated, but it's for going both ways. Just got to keep playing the way you're going and hoping it falls your way. It's a sucky way to play basketball, but it's just how it's got to go right now for the Cougs. Brown, open drive to the rim for 2. And at the end of the day, too, you can talk about fouls all you want. Nothing can change the fact the Cougars have not been shooting well today. Under 30% from the field, 11% from 3.
That has not been a great offensive showing for the Cougs.
AG taking his time. Gets out Stuckey. Stuckey now, step back 3. Drills it! Williams driving. So driving. Fade away. No good. Brown can't get the rebound. It's out of bounds off of Brown.
Brown pushed it there, but just couldn't get the shot to fall. Tried to get the rebound, but then just sent it out of bounds. And now we're heading in to another media timeout here. Our 4th of the game. And so we're going to be getting ready to send it to our man on the floor, the sideline reporter, the one and only Sam Smith.
Hey guys, 14-point game here at Geisman. Now, the problem is the Cougars are getting out-rebounded and just absolutely dominated in the paint by Rockford. And the Cougars, they need to force some turnovers. They had a stretch in under 2 minutes where they forced 4 turnovers themselves. However, they haven't been able to do that. Rockford's taking care of the ball pretty well, other than that stretch where they gave up 4 in 2 minutes. But the Cougars just have been dominated in the paint, haven't been able to get anything going, and Rockford has been rock steady in the paint on offense. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Sam. And yeah, it's been a very interesting game. We're going to have to see how it shapes up here in the last 8 minutes. Regions are up by 14 now and have hit 3 of their last 3 while the Cougars have struggled to just get some consistent points on the board.
Yeah, I mean, you look over on Rockford's end, they are actually shooting incredibly well so far. They're up to 46% from the field on the day, and that's with a 12% shooting percentage from 3. They've seen that they can't shoot from 3 tonight, and they've adapted to that, and they're just forcing their way through in the paint, and it is working.
Yeah, the Regents have learned how to play small ball, as it were, and not so heavily rely on the 3 ball.
Miller able to get it past midcourt, swinging to Bell. Jaden Bell over to Grunlow, working with a 14-point lead. Rockford looking to add on. AG gets it to Miller. Laulautis almost able to take it away. 5 to go on the shot clock. Miller loses it. It's still loose. Brown gets the loose ball. That's going to be a jump ball going the way of the Cougars.
Regents were trying to get the ball around. Looked like it went off someone's foot after Laulautis was playing some tough defense, and eventually it was Brown that came up with it.
Bastion Hill into the game. He'll inbound it. Lyndon Williams pick it off. Cougars, 7:20 to go. They trail by 14. Made a big comeback last time out. They got to do it again tonight. Brown loses it. It's still loose. And Brown diving for it. Trips up AG. Coach Searles isn't happy with it.
I think his argument is that Brown was already on the floor, and AG more or less ran over Brown and tripped himself.
And Searles does have an argument for that. I mean, because Aaron Brown went to the ground when he was trying to hold on to the dribble, and then it was a loose ball, and AG dove over him. So it gives AG the 1-and-1. And it's just another tough break for Concordia.
Yeah, it's one of those calls where it's like, you really, when you're trailing, you really don't want it to not go your way. You want to be able to hold on to possession.
AG hits both. It's a 16-point lead now for Rockford.
Hogan, who had some foul trouble, is now back in the game for the Regions.
D. Williams to Aaron Brown. Hill, Laulautis from the corner. No good. Rebounded by Rockford. AG slinging for Bell. Bell driving, baseline, going up. Can't get it to fall. Laulautis with the rebound. Cougars, they got to go quickly now. Under 7 to go. Laulautis to Brown. Brown driving, goes up. And he does draw the foul.
So Brown didn't get the points off the finish, but he will at least be heading to the free throw line to shoot to ideally for the Cougars make this a 14-point lead with just over 6.5 left.
I mean, look at the stat sheet. The difference right now is the shooting percentage in the paint between these two teams. Same stats in the free throw box. Get the Cougars, with that, have one more miss. Pretty much same stats in the three-point shooting. But from the field, which is the paint, it's where it's been tonight, Rockford has been much more consistent than the Cougars.
Yeah, Rockford, when they've had opportunities into the paint, they've been able to do a better job than the Cougars of converting them.
Brown doesn't get the second to go.
And that's a bit of a backbreaker there if you're the Cougars.
Jackson over to Bell, over to AG. 6:20 to go, 10 on the shot clock. AG working right, stepping out. Jackson has it, goes up with it, no good. Rebounded by Williams. Pryor taking it through midcourt, driving straight on in, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Rockford. AG gets it. Quick pass to Hogan, driving in, taken away by Williams. Willard to Hill. Hill kicking back to Willard, over to Williams for three. No good, off the back of the rim. Long rebound for Stuckey. And that is where the Cougars have been falling short today. Wide open three, and you just can't hit it.
Yeah, that was an uncontested three for Williams, who just bricked it.
And Coach Searles gonna take another time out. His team trailing by 18. They haven't scored in 3 minutes. Got to figure something out in the next 5.5 minutes to even have a shot at winning today. We'll be back in just a minute on the Cougar Sports Network. And we're back on the Cougar Sports Network. 5.5 to go in the game. Cougars have possession, down by 18. Haven't scored in over 3 minutes. 3:05 scoring drought going on. 0 for their last 4 from the field. And they've got to figure something out to have a shot at winning today. And Hill, he's going to take a Curry three to try and do just that. No good. Lowry with the rebound. Gets the second chance bucket.
Cougars.
I mean, you're trying something. Sebastian Hill just chucking it up from beyond downtown, shooting that thing all the way from Rockford to try and get the Cougars back in it. Now Bell, uncontested three, no good off the front of the rim, but it's out of bounds off Willard.
Going back to that Sebastian Hill three. It's like, well, we're in a pretty deep hole. Might as well pull up and shoot a deep one, and didn't work out, but Cougars were able to get the rebound and get a layup.
Runlow hands it off to Bell. Bell swinging to AG, driving in, jump step! Williams denies him! Now AG will take the three. No good, rebounded by Johnson.
Good defensive stand there by the Cougs.
Hill going up for it, no good. That's just a forced shot from Sebastian Hill.
He was trying to take advantage of a quick opportunity there.
You can tell the Cougars are in panic territory. Almost 4 minutes left, and they still trail by 16.
Yeah, time is very much not on the Cougars' side here.
Yeah, Rockford content with just taking their sweet time. Under 10 to go on the shot clock. Stuckey driving the baseline, fadeaway jumper, no good. Out of bounds, off the Cougars, and it stays with Rockford.
And that's the possessions you cannot afford to have if you're the Cougs. You can't allow Rockford to run out the shot clock and then get an offensive rebound or a turnover that keeps the ball with the Regents and puts another 20 back up for the Regents to almost hold the ball.
Yeah, I mean, you're entirely right, Eric. Right now, the Cougars, yes, things haven't gone their way. Part of that's uncontrollable. Part of that is on you. We were kind of talking about during the last break. You're 16 for 57. At the end of the day, That's something you just can't have if you want to win a game. 28% from the field, 10% from three, even the 57% free throw percentage. Nothing going right for the Cougars right now. And it's a hole that they need to dig themselves out of, and right now with the way they're playing, they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, by every metric, the Cougars are performing well under their season average. Like you said, shooting 28%. The only way you can win a game by shooting 28% is if your opponent shoots 27%. And unfortunately for the Cougs, the Regents have been shooting 42%. So, again, Cougars haven't been able to get much to click offensively, and then defensively, they just haven't been able to force enough stops.
Within a 16-point deficit, and the ball. Rockford very much in the driver's seat to take home the win here in River Forest. Kicking it out to AG, swinging over to Grunlow. Grunlow looking for somewhere to go. Yes, Stuckey to Hogan. 10 on the shot clock, and Hogan's fouled. That'll send Hogan to the line for a 1-and-1.
Hogan's 1 for 3 from the charity stripes so far. But if you're the Cougars, you can't afford to just give the Regents almost free points.
But the one is missed. No good. Lowry pushing the pace down court. Baseline, spinning, trying to go somewhere. It's tapped away. Johnson picks up the loose ball. Chucks up the layup. No good. And Johnson fouls Grunlow on the rebound. And Grunlow will head down the other way for 2 buckets.
Johnson was trying to see if there was a way that he could force the ball away from Grunlow, get the Cougars the ball back right under the net with maybe a chance to get it up and in, but instead just ended up reaching a bit too much and got called for the foul.
Yeah, that's been an ugly last couple of minutes for the Cougs. Doesn't look like it's going to be getting too much better. But the first one of the 2 is missed for Grunlow. So Donovan Grunlow trying to go and pick up the second shot. And he does. Makes it a 17-point game. 59-42, 3.5 to go. Cougars need a miracle at this point. Williams to Johnson for 3. Air ball. And out of bounds off the Cougars.
Looks like Willard tried to run over and make a play where he could just kind of slap it at Stuckey, but kind of slapped it straight down instead.
Rockford getting some miscommunication. The Cougars get the steal off the end bone, and it's a free 2 points for A.J. Willard. Coach Rigel fired up after that one, after his team gives away a couple buckets, and the Cougars force that one out of bounds. So the four-court press doing a little bit of work for the Cougs.
Cougars may still be down, but they are still fighting. Their defense is still running all out.
Get it into Hogan. Hogan double team, trying to work past Lowry. And there's contact, which means a foul.
And one thing you want to look at here, Jonathan, is just the foul disparity here. That's going to make it 11 fouls called on the Cougs. Meanwhile, Rockford has only been called for 6.
And you'll see, obviously, the Cougars having to press a bit harder, being the team that's trailing. And with the way that the second half has been officiated, it's been officiated more tightly on both ends of the court. And when that's happening, if you're having to press more, you're going to draw a few more fouls. It sucks for the Cougars. But it's what you just got to deal with sometimes. Hogan looking to make it a 17-point game again. Second shot, no good. Cougs got to go quick. Williams to Hill. Hill kicking back to Williams. Williams trying to create some space. Can't do it. Brown now driving. Brown spinning. Going for two. No good, but he gets the foul. And it looks like that one might be on. Yeah, that is on Cooper Jackson. So that is Jackson's night over. His 5th foul of the game.
Jackson been a good player for the Regents tonight. 12 points on 6 for 11 shooting, 5 rebounds and an assist.
I mean, he's fouled out, but it has been a productive night for the big man.
Absolutely, and in a close game, that'd be a heartbreaker for the Regents, but in a game where you're up by 16, it's not that much of an injury.
The Cougars can't hit the free throws right now either. Oh. Oh. Oh, I mean,
you can't say anything to that, Jonathan. There's just not much to say
it's
there.
Been that kind of night for the Cougars. Now that's their best shooting percentage in all 3 categories, and it's 50% at the free throw line. AG driving with space for 2. No good. Brown gets the rebound, but he just chucks it down court to no one, and Rockford gets the free possession back.
I think he was trying to get a big fast break to Loulautis, but either Loulautis didn't come back for it or he didn't put enough on the pass.
Yeah, you can tell this is a team that is on the back foot and panicking for points. Easy 2 for Trey Miller, makes it an 18-point game, chucking down court for Brown, going for 2, gets it to fall. They're punching back and forth with under 2 minutes to go. Cougars need a lot more. And now Rockford doing the smart thing and slowing it down. Williams nearly takes it away. Willard now on the double team with Lowry. They get it to Stuckey. Stuckey trying to escape, and he draws the foul on Willard.
Willard was pushing Stuckey defensively there like we've seen him do all night, but with a bit more desperation there, you kind of get a little bit more physical to try to force the ball away, and in that scenario there, it just didn't pay off.
So with a 16-point lead, Luke Stuckey cracks double digits, and he's looking to make it an 18-point lead again. Minute and a half to go. Cougars said they needed a miracle before. They need a couple now.
Yeah, and unless the Cougars have a Tracy McGrady type comeback in them here, don't think they can pull it off.
D. Williams working the perimeter. Hill, pump fake, drives in. Puts up the floater, gets it to go. Honestly, I love to see the intensity from Riger right now. He's so not happy his team's giving up easy buckets, even leading by 18. And he'll take the timeout with his guys pinned back in the corner.
And like you were saying, Jonathan, Regal is still hot with his team giving up some easy shots and possessions, even though they're up 16 with about 77 seconds left here in the game.
Yeah, 16 points. I mean, that's... You need at least 6 buckets, pretty much, if you're a Concordia. And with a minute, pretty much a minute to go, that's going to be tough to come by.
Yeah, you basically need a basket every 10 seconds, which means you basically have to be stealing the ball from the Regents almost immediately, turning around and then getting a shot off.
The Cougars already back out on the court. They are ready to go. Coach Riegel taking his time to get his team ready to go. Up by 16. He wants to keep that gap there at minimum. If not, make it larger.
Yeah, Coach Riegel there just wants to make sure that they don't the Regents don't give up any quick successive shots to the Cougs, although, like you said, it would have to be quite a few for the Cougars to even be considered back in this.
And Miller able to beat Williams, and he's going to slow it down. It's to Hogan. Hogan back to Miller. Miller under pressure, going to Agee. Agee double teamed, taken away by Hill. Sebastian Hill fouled as he goes up for 2. So Sebastian Hill going to get a trip to the line. It's his first trip to the line of the night.
Agee was trying to bleed his call to the ref there. He thought he was all ball, but the ref thought otherwise.
Hill's first free throw is good. Gets the Cougars back above 50%. And you can pretty much do it any basketball game, but once again, as another reminder, hit your free throws, kids. 8 points left on the board for the Cougars in that department tonight, as Hill goes 2 for 2. But I mean, those 8 points matter. If you have those 8 points, it's only a 6-point game at this point. Agee to Bell. Cougars gotta dial up the pressure. Bell working on Hill, gets it to Stuckey. Rockford doing a great job of keeping the ball safe. Down in the paint to Bell. No good, gets the rebound taken away. Hill down to Brown in the paint, easy 2. The inbound, kind of sloppy, but Williams gets a bit over-aggressive and fouls Miller.
And on the Cougar layup there by Brown, that was a good kind of pullback by Hogan there to not try to contest that, because you don't want to give up a potential foul in an and one to give the Cougars a free point.
Yeah, and it's because this is at the point now, actually, the Cougars, if they want a chance to win, they have to foul every single play.
And, you know, Regents have they've been shooting 63% from the free throw line, so if you foul the right players.
But Trey Miller looking to put it away, hits the first bucket. Got one more to go.
And Miller, 74% free throw shooter.
No good. Brown with the rebound to Willard, going quickly. Willard kicking to Hill. Hill puts up the 3. No good again. Rebounded by Bell. And he'll dribble it up. Cougars not looking to foul. And it looks like that's how this game will end. Bell swinging to Agee, and Rockford comes into River Forest, and it's not the way they want to do it, but they get it done, and they dominate the Cougars 65-52.
Yeah, the Regents came in, and for a team that's relied on the 3-ball all season, they almost couldn't buy a 3, but then they were able to turn around and kind of switch up their game plan and get the points in the paint, get the offensive rebounds, and just kill the Cougars with small ball.
Yeah, I mean, the Cougars, they got beat by Rockford today. They also lost that game themselves. Those stats, nothing you want to see. 55% from the free throw line, 31% from the field, 9% from 3, 2 for 22. Awful stats, honestly, offensively from the Cougars. And that's something that they know, that's something they'll look at moving forward. They're back in action this Saturday, January 10th, as they'll travel on the road to take on one of the best teams in the conference in the Milwaukee School of Engineering. And the good news, this is not a typical shooting performance from the Cougars. They have been better than this on the year. The bad news, you still lost the game tonight, and that's going to sting for a little bit.
Yeah, like you said, this is an outlier for the Cougs, but like you said, they go on the road to MSOE in just 3 days, and you cannot afford to play a game like this against MSOE. They will eat you alive, so Cougars really need to hope that they can get right before that game and figure out what was wrong with their shooting tonight.
Yeah, and for a Rockford team that's looking to fight for the playoff spot this year, this is a huge, these last 2 games, honestly, their last game against Edgewood and tonight against Cougars have been huge for the Regents because you found ways to win in multiple parts of the game. Early on in the year, Liver died by 3. The last 2 games, they've struggled from 3. Tonight, pretty much same thing as the Cougars. They were awful from three, 2 for 18, 11%. But they found a way to win by focusing on the paint, getting the buckets when you need to, and not letting your opponent get any easy shots.
Yeah, the Regents showed tonight and last time that they are able to adjust mid-game. When their game plan isn't working, they're able to adjust and figure out a way to pull them to victory, and that's what we saw here tonight. Like you said, the threes didn't work, so they switched it up, and they were able to just go point by point, layup by layup, and beat the Cougars that way.
Well, that'll do it here in River Forest. Cougars 52, Rockford 65. Concordia led in scoring by Aaron Brown with 14. Rockford led in scoring by Cooper Jackson with 12. Jaden Bell, a big night, a double-double, 10 points, 11 rebounds for Rockford's star. As they take down the Cougars, move to 3-3 in NAC play. They'll move on from here for a little break from conference play as they get a tune-up match against Maranatha Baptist at home this Saturday. The Cougars, they head on the road up to Milwaukee to take on the MSOE Raiders this Saturday. You'll be able to catch up on everything you've missed and follow everything you need to for that game live on the Cougar Sports Network. That'll do it here tonight in River Forest. Thank you to everyone who made tonight's game possible. I'm Jonathan Shear. Joining me tonight was Eric Parry. On the sideline, it was Sam Smith. And thank you for tuning in. And as always, roll Cougs.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.